Hey y'all, how are you doing today? Have you been creating a safe place for your children to be able to express how they're feeling and be okay with what they say? I know sometimes it's hard to hear the truth that our children have, but it's needed. That's how we understand who they are, what they're thinking, what they desire, what they dislike. When we open up the space for them to be able to have dialogue, to be able to talk about it freely without having consequence. One of the things that I do with my children is if there's a situation that they may be going through or something that I think they may be struggling with, I'll give them that space to be able to talk about what it is that they're feeling and have it judgment free, right? Like not try to impose my perception on them. I'll share my perception, but I'll let them know, hey, this is how I see it. Or what about if you thought about it this way? But I don't force them to try to change how they're thinking to be accommodating to me or what I have defined as being the right way to do something. I think this allows them the opportunity to be able to understand that there's more than one way to look at it, but it's also okay for them to have the thought that they have. Obviously, if it's something that's unhealthy, then you obviously want to try to pull them or navigate them into a way so that they can redefine their thoughts so it is a healthy thought. But sometimes it's just simply we just don't agree with their perception because, again, we have experience. They're still very young and they're still developing. Their frontal lobe most of the time isn't even developed yet completely. So we're trying to help them just navigate life. So it's important, though, that when we are having a conversation with them, that we make them feel safe, that they should not feel like if they express something that they like or they don't like, that we're going to give them some sort of consequence or we're going to be angry at them, because all they're going to do then is not going to change how they feel about that thing, right? It's only going to change how they communicate with you about it. So if you want your children to be able to talk to you freely and you really want to understand them and develop a healthy relationship with them, I want to encourage you to give them a safe space to do that. Give them a safe space where they feel comfortable to share with no judgment, without you trying to persuade them to believe like you do or guilt them into believing like you do. Help them to understand that there's more than one way to look at it, but they ultimately have to live whatever it is that they decide that they feel about that thing, whether it's a consequence or whether later on in life they have to deal with the choice that they've made. You've given them your thought about it, but you haven't tried to control them to get them to believe the way you do. I want to encourage you and remind you to take time with your children, get to know them, give them that safe space so that they're able to talk to you comfortably and enjoy the ride.